Welcome to the channel, Picture Book Creators. I'm happy to have you here. My name is Mary Janelle, and today is going to be part one of two videos where I share inside my iPad how I do digital storyboarding in Procreate. I do both analog and digital storyboarding. You can check out this video to see my analog pencil to paper style storyboarding. But today and the next video is going to be all about digital storyboarding. In this first video, I want to show you simply how I set up a template for myself. A template which I duplicate every time that I want to storyboard. But the template's set up in such a way that it's all ready to go. It's what I need at my fingertips. I want to show you the different layers, how I toggle them on and off. So let's hit the studio and I'll show you my digital storyboarding template. Hi everyone, welcome to the studio. Here I am with my iPad. And I'm in the gallery right now. Hopefully you can see and the screen isn't too glary. I'm in the gallery of Procreate on the iPad, which is the program that I've illustrated my past two children's publications, which are called Wait Darling Wait and A Busy Day in ABC Woods. And looking for a cover here to show you, but there it is. And I did everything in Procreate on the iPad and Photoshop on my desktop. And so I want to show you my storyboarding template. In the next video, I'll show you more of the artistic process, but the template system is one that I kind of made up for my own personal process. And I think what it will do is give you ideas for how to set it up for yourself and how you could do this. So first of all, when I make a template, I make sure that I label it template. So it's big in caps, and I try to never draw or do art in the template, but rather I click select, duplicate, or you select it, you duplicate, and then you end up with a copy, and I rename the copy whatever the working copy name of the book that I'm working on. And so I have one here. Now, the first thing is that what you're seeing here is a JPEG that I imported. First of all, I designed it for Picture Book Creators. It's a printable. It has little indicators of gray where the front matter is, and then sort of blank areas with the back cover, front cover, and all the pages are numbered. And I simply clicked insert photo and brought in a photo of this image that I've made for Picture Book Creators. And it's become what I call the storyboard first layer. So this is what I want to show you as far as setting up my template is under the layers. I have this base layer, the storyboard template, on its own, and it is visible, obviously. And above it, I created a whole group of layers called storyboard. And I've given every little square or double page spread, I've given every single one of them their own layer in Procreate. So for example, here I have covers, front matter, page 4, 5, page 6, 7, page 8, 9, and so forth. And the reason I've done that is because when I do a little thumbnail, and I should say this, that in this process, I do little thumbnails that are the whole storyboard that I see collectively as a group. But then in my template, you'll see in a second, I've created it so that I have groups of more detailed close-up thumbnails that I can isolate and work on. So I can toggle between the two groups, seeing, okay, this is my entire storyboard as a whole, this is page 8 and 9. And I don't have to zoom in like I'm doing now, and I'll show you that in a sec. So I have every single one of these pages on their own layer. So for example, if I wanted to give a quick sketch of what I want to render for a picture book on page 6 and 7, now I'll quickly show you an example here of a recent double page spread that I've worked on. This is a little character who his placeholder name while I'm illustrating, his placeholder name is Eli. I don't think he'll be Eli in the final publication, but I call him Eli for now. This is Eli, and this is the page next to it, which is Eli and his mama nose to nose. And that is what I'll show you more in the next video in my creative process, but let's pretend here that I was creating a thumbnail for Eli and his mom. So I would zoom in a little, and I am on layer 6, page 6 and 7 layer. And I would be like, okay, I'm gonna put the little donkey kind of jumping onto the page, and there's gonna be a tree, a little butterfly, some grasses, desert, the mom donkey and the baby donkey are nose to nose. And maybe there'd be a sunset. I did play around with like a sunset behind them. And then sometimes I'll pick another color or something and I'll scribble in like where I'll put the words. And I will keep that thumbnail sketch on page 6 and 7. And if I ever decide I want to switch it out, I can click on this layer and clear it. Or I can actually duplicate it and turn one off and do another version. I can also, there's just a lot of versatility here. So if I want to do page 8 and 9, I will highlight page 8 and 9 on the layers and go in and be like, maybe on this page, I'm going to do a single page illustration of maybe there he is, little donkey face, and maybe they'll just be words and a frame here, and sometimes I'll make myself little notes down here and tell myself things that will trigger future creative work. And so then that's the storyboard as a whole has its own layers, and they're in their own group called storyboard. But now I want to show you that when I want to get a little more detailed, and I should say this, I never get super detailed in my thumbnails and storyboarding process. I never get super detailed. Some artists do, and they'll really sketch and choose their lighting and their shading and their colors and everything like in a thumbnail process. I typically get the general concept and then go into other files and start creating. I'll show you that in the next video. But I do like to have a zoomed in, isolated version of each thumbnail. Not in detail, but, roughly. So, here I am. I have my thumbnail template highlighted, and above it, I have a group of layers that are identical to what's in the storyboard, but now they are meant for the larger thumbnails. So if I'm doing page 6 and 7, I would highlight that, and maybe I would then give it its numbers so I know what I'm on. And I might end up rendering this in a little bit more detail than I'm not going to in the video, but I might end up rendering in a little more detail in a zoomed in fashion. Now, I don't even think having both the thumbnails and the tiny storyboard are necessary. That might not be a necessary part of your process. But the reason I like it is I do find my brain works better when I'm zoomed in on something bigger. Plus, when I turn this off, the thumbnails template, I can then reference the whole storyboard on its own. So I do recommend this process, but it might not be necessary for you. But I can see the whole storyboard on its own. And when you sketch on the storyboard, so tiny, those are very pixelated little drawings when you zoom in. And so by doing them again as a larger thumbnail, it's a bit bigger of a file render on those thumbnails. Hopefully that made sense and I explained that right. But like I have like the tiny version and then a little bit bigger version. None of them are really refined though. They're just for my brain to get out the ideas. So I hope that this has helped you to see how I have groups with the page numbers. One for storyboard, which would be the tiny version of storyboarding so you can see it as a whole. And you can turn that off and have every page on a layer where you could zoom in and you get a little bit more detail, and you can toggle between the two. And then when you get an idea of the layout, you would then go in and start creating in another file that is set up properly, which is what I will show you my artistic process of creating a page and how I take ideas from the storyboard and thumbnails into the actual pages. I'll show you that in the next video.
So there you go. I hope that seeing the template that I've set up inspires you to perhaps create your own template that works well for your process within Procreate or any other program that you use for digital art and illustration. And I hope that you can even comment below and tell me a little bit more about your process, or maybe some suggestions that you think will benefit the picture book creators community. And I'd love to simply get the thumbs up if you're liking this video and you want more like this. Stay tuned for the next video where I show you how I actually storyboard within the templates that I've set up so that you can see the storyboarding process and really what that looks like as the art and ideas unfold within the storyboard and thumbnails. So we'll see you in the next video. Bye for now, everyone.